Oh my goodness, that's a great question because you would probably get just a handful of people that would be on that list.
He's the soft-spoken legend with a velvet voice and 22 Grammys to his name. But at 68, Vince Gill is finally peeling back the curtain on a side of himself the public rarely sees. For decades, he bit his tongue while country music transformed before his eyes. Now he's naming names. The stars are big, the reasons run deep, and one of them helped redefine the genre entirely. What made this country gentleman quietly seethe for years? The answers are sharper and more surprising than you'd ever expect. Number 7. Garth Brooks. Despite both being towering figures in country music, Vince Gill and Garth Brooks represented two fundamentally different philosophies, and that divide never truly healed. Gill, the meticulous craftsman, prioritized lyrical depth, emotional nuance, and technical musicianship, while Brooks ushered in a new era defined by spectacle, stadium shows, pyrotechnics, and pop star theatrics. To Gill, Brooks symbolized the moment country music lost its soul. Where Vince whispered heartache into ballads, Garth roared it to the rafters with headset mics and arena-sized egos. Gill reportedly turned down offers to present Brooks with Lifetime Achievement Awards, not out of bitterness, but because he couldn't fake admiration he didn't feel. Though he never publicly attacked Brooks, his criticism of the genre's shift toward commercialism and flashy performances was widely interpreted as a veiled reference to Garth's influence. He once lamented that "we lost the stories in modern country," a clear contrast to the mass-market appeal that made Brooks a megastar. The two never collaborated, and at award shows, Gill's applause was notably absent. For Vince, Garth wasn't just a peer, he was the architect of a cultural shift he deeply mourned. Think Garth stirred things up? Just wait. This next name might surprise even longtime fans. Number 6. Kris Kristofferson. Vince Gill's quiet disdain for Kris Kristofferson came as a shock to many fans who assumed mutual respect among country legends. Publicly, Gill rarely criticized Kristofferson, but behind the scenes, there was a clear divide. Kristofferson, known for his raw, ragged style and unpredictable performances, symbolized a form of authenticity that Gill found frustrating. Where Kristofferson embraced messiness and imperfection, Gill valued precision, discipline, and technical skill.
Through the Night's pretty great. Why Me Lord's great. You know, once again, a great testament. Would you call this guy a great singer? Not necessarily.
One infamous story tells of Gill leaving a CMA rehearsal early to avoid Kristofferson's performance, allegedly muttering about not wanting to watch another train wreck. Though never confirmed, the tale spread widely in Nashville. Gill reportedly resented the way critics romanticized Kristofferson's flaws, calling them genius, while more refined musicians were overlooked. A close friend once quoted Gill as saying, "It's not deep, it's just sloppy." Despite decades in the same industry, they never collaborated, shared a tribute, or even appeared together, and Kristofferson's name was conspicuously absent from events Gill hosted. For Gill, artistry meant mastering the craft, something he felt Kristofferson had sidestepped while still being celebrated. Number 5. Billy Ray Cyrus. To Vince Gill, Billy Ray Cyrus's explosive success with Achy Breaky Heart marked a low point in country music, a moment when image and marketing overtook musicianship and substance. While the song became a cultural phenomenon and launched Cyrus into instant stardom, Gill reportedly saw it as an embarrassment to the genre he had spent his life defending. In a CMA green room, he was overheard joking that the song set country music back 10 years, a remark that quickly circulated among industry insiders. Gill, who came from a background rooted in jazz-level musicianship and lyrical craftsmanship, viewed the one-liner hook and dance craze surrounding Cyrus's hit as a parody of true country. He once described the song as karaoke with a mullet, highlighting his belief that it lacked the heart, depth, and authenticity country music demands. The two never collaborated, never shared a stage, and their interactions, if any, were said to be tense or non-existent. To Gill, Billy Ray didn't just release a bad song. He represented a shift toward gimmickry and flash that pulled Nashville away from its traditional roots. Number 4. Kanye West. While Vince Gill and Kanye West never crossed paths musically or professionally, Gill's criticism of modern music's ego-driven culture drew a clear, if indirect, line toward artists like Kanye. In multiple interviews, Gill expressed deep concern over what he called a growing spectacle over substance trend in the industry. Though he never named Kanye outright, fans and insiders quickly connected the dots, especially after a 2016 interview in which Gill said, "I see young artists walk into a room and expect the world to bow. Back in my day, you earned respect by listening first." That quote coincided with Kanye's now infamous rant, proclaiming himself the greatest artist of all time, fueling speculation that Gill was referring to him.
I'm standing up and I'm telling you, I am Warhol. I am the #1 most impactful artist of our generation. I am Shakespeare in the flesh. Walt Disney, Nike, Google. Now who's gonna be the Medici family and stand up and let me create more?
To Gill, music was sacred, rooted in humility, sincerity, and craft. Kanye, with his high-profile controversies, award show interruptions, and self-aggrandizing persona, seemed to embody everything Gill stood against. It wasn't about genre, it was about values. Though the two exist in entirely different musical worlds, Gill's commentary made it clear. Ego, self-worship, and chaos have no place in the kind of artistry he spent a lifetime defending. That was bold, but what comes next? Vince turns down the spotlight in a way few artists ever would. Number 3. Vince Gill refuses to play himself.
I didn't see a long future with that band, so that's when I started kind of working towards a solo career.
Despite being an official member of the Eagles since 2017, Vince Gill made the deliberate choice to never perform any of his own songs during the band's concerts. A decision rooted in humility, not exclusion. When Don Henley once overheard Gill softly singing his 1994 hit, "Whenever You Come Around" during soundcheck, he was so impressed that he encouraged Gill to work it into the band's live set. But Gill politely declined. His reasoning was strikingly self-aware. He didn't want fans, many still mourning Glenn Frey's absence, to feel alienated by hearing solo material they hadn't come to see. "I don't want to give them one more reason not to be happy that I'm out there," he explained. By prioritizing the Eagles' legacy over personal spotlight, Gill demonstrated a level of artistic restraint rarely seen in an industry defined by ego. While he may be a country music Hall of Famer in his own right, his role in the Eagles has always been about honoring the band's history, not rewriting it with his own hits. Number 2. Jason Aldean. Jason Aldean's rise as a leading figure in the bro country movement was met with quiet disapproval from Vince Gill, who viewed the shift as a dilution of the genre's core values. Aldean's brand, defined by heavy guitars, baseball caps, and lyrics about trucks, whiskey, and partying, stood in sharp contrast to Gill's emphasis on depth, nuance, and storytelling. In interviews, Gill didn't name Aldean directly, but his critiques were unmistakable. "I think we've dumbed it down," he told Rolling Stone, arguing that while fun has a place in music, surface-level themes shouldn't be mistaken for authentic country. Gill believed Aldean's success represented a larger trend of valuing lifestyle marketing over lived experience. Despite both artists appearing at major country festivals, they never shared a stage, and insiders claim Gill declined to attend or present at events headlined by Aldean. It wasn't about personal animosity. It was about identity. For Gill, Aldean epitomized a version of country music that traded substance for spectacle, a philosophy that clashed fundamentally with everything Gill believed the genre should stand for. Hang on to your cowboy hat. Our #1 artist sent shockwaves through Nashville. Number 1. Shania Twain. Shania Twain's meteoric rise to fame was a triumph for pop country. But for Vince Gill, it marked a turning point when Nashville began chasing trends over tradition. Known for her sleek production, pop-infused hooks, and high-gloss image, Twain redefined what country music could sound and look like, but not in a way Gill admired. A staunch traditionalist, Vince reportedly viewed her success as a disruption to the roots-driven storytelling he held sacred. While he never named her directly, Gill once lamented, "We lost a generation of real country fans chasing radio hits," and later added, "Sometimes we forget what genre we're in," remarks widely interpreted as subtle criticism of Twain's influence. Unlike most major artists of their era, Twain and Gill never collaborated, shared tributes, or even stood on the same award show stages, a silence many found telling. To Gill, Twain's massive commercial appeal symbolized a moment when country music blurred into mainstream pop, losing its raw edge and emotional depth. Behind closed doors, insiders said he saw her rise as a cultural shift that left traditional artists like himself sidelined in favor of mass-market polish. What made Twain's rise even more unsettling for Gill was the ripple effect it created across the entire industry. Labels began scouting for the next Shania, rather than nurturing artists rooted in tradition. Suddenly, rhinestones replaced rawness, and catchy choruses overtook heartfelt lyrics. To Gill, it wasn't just about one artist's sound, it was about an industry-wide pivot that prioritized image, crossover appeal, and chart potential over authenticity. Younger artists who once looked to legends like Gill for inspiration were now being molded to fit a glossier, pop-leaning blueprint. While Twain herself was often praised for breaking barriers, Gill viewed her success as the moment the walls around country music's soul began to crack. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Vince Gill's unfiltered thoughts, make sure to like, leave a comment with your thoughts, and subscribe for more eye-opening stories from the world of music. Don't forget to tap the bell so you never miss a video. And hey, watch the next video on your screen for even more behind-the-scenes drama you won't believe.